So that's that. Now we can go to the morgue, have Doc come pick up the body, then we'll come back and search the sleeping bag. Yo, Doc. You go recover the body?
Sure. I'll send a team right out.
Thanks, buddy. So what do you got for me? Time of death.
I can give you a decent seat in the ballpark, thanks to those blowfly larvae.
Course.
Rigidity and lividity indicate the body's not been moved post-mortem. TOD estimate, 5 days.
Alright. How about the cause of death?
Still working on that. I found water in the lungs, so first glance suggests possible asphyxia from drowning. Don't quote me. Other parts of this autopsy don't add up.
Alright, like what?
Another element that may or may not be important. Tox indicates levels of Jimson wheat tea. We checked his lower intestinal tract for seeds and came up with a garden of toxicity, levels of which you can verify in the lab.
Alright then. Jimson weed. Was the forehead hit lethal?
Not a factor. No broken skin, no brain hemorrhaging, or skull fractures. One thing though, the bruise discoloration was still forming, so the blunt force trauma occurred several hours before the time of death.
Alright. You have the victim's prints?
Here's your reference prints and DNA.
Thank you. Oh, right, yeah, I believe the missing evidence in that second case was the victim's prints. Because, you know, as standard, Doc is supposed to give you the prints when he examines the body, but he doesn't in that case. Why would a rat crawl out of his mouth? I don't know, maybe it was tired of being in there.
Why? You think that's a first? I had a case where an autopsy revealed baby rats gestating in the stomach. Luckily, that's not the case here. Maybe Mommy didn't find a suitable nesting spot inside our Vic.
Apparently not. Was our victim diabetic?
Yes, he was. This would explain why he had an insulin bottle with him at the crime scene.
Course,
but diabetes had nothing to do with his death.
Alright then. So that's all we got here. Let's head back to that crime scene. Check out that sleeping bag again. That's ah-ha-ha! Pay up or else, huh?
Let's find something to compare it to.
Yeah, probably another handwriting sample. So how are we doing? Not quite searched yet. Whoa, 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 hello!
Our Vic rolled his own. Burn mark underneath suggests it was smoked at the crime scene, dropped, and burned right into the fabric.
Take that. Location searched. And there's something down there. I'm guessing this thingy. Yep.
Salt-like substance. How to get on here?
I don't know. So that's it. Location search. Let's go to the lab. Just get some shit done. Alright, Jimson weed. Chemical analyzer.
These results from the Jimson weed seeds show a non-lethal amount. Based on these levels, he probably ingested this hours before he died.
Well, how about the white substance?
Well, our mystery substance is not in the database, but it appears to have been mixed in with the tobacco. So either someone else did it, or the Vic did it himself. Could be an amp joint, as they say on the street. Tobacco mixed with a narcotic. Basuco, on the other hand, is street for cocaine paste residue, sprinkled on a cigarette like powdered sugar on a donut.
Okay. Well, let's find out who our Vic is. See if we can get it from his fingerprints. Can we run a search? Apparently not. Asshole. Fine. Give me the blood. Oh, come on. Damn it.
That'll go on the trace analysis computer.
Yeah, I know. But,
we've done all we can with that item.
I know. Ah, damn it, my foot itches. Okay, so we don't have anyone else's writing samples, so we can't really compare this to anything. And we've done everything else we can. Fuck. Well, I guess all we can do is go talk to Brass then. See if he's got anything for us. So, can you trace the info on this battle back to its owner? Yes!
Trace the name on the
name.
prescription to a condo at 337 Fawn Road, Las Vegas. According to records, he lives there with his wife, one Carla Mitchell. Here's a surprise. Our victim has a local celebrity for a mother. Real estate developer Emily Hansen.
Interesting. Alright, isn't she running for the state senate?
One and the same. Lives out of Charleston Hills, a gated community. She doesn't have my vote, but you don't need to bring that up.
Sure, I don't. Alright, so that gives us 2 places to search. Alright, so the victim's name is Derek, something no one told us. So we now know his name is Derek Mitchell. Gathering intel. Not a bad house. It's alright. It's alright. Nails over there. I don't suppose I can poke around already. It seems that would be a no. I shouldn't need to ask or get a warrant for this. I mean, it was the victim's house. Damn it. Fine, talk to her.
Las Vegas Crime Lab, Mrs. Mitchell. We're sorry to have to bother you at a time like this, but I'm sure you understand it's necessary.
Of course.
Of course, of course. But you'll have to forgive me if I'm a little out of focus. I haven't even begun to come to grips with Derek's death. Seems so unreal. And just when things were going so well. He was due home today from his camping trip, and I was planning his favorite meal for him. Do you know what happened?
We're trying our best to figure it out, Mrs. Mitchell.
So, what was this meal? Oh, I'm curious. Might be tasty. What? What size hiking boots do you wear?
I don't normally wear hiking boots at all. But when I do, it would be size 5. Why?
We found a boot print at the crime scene. Do you have any hiking boots we can use to rule you out?
No, I told you I'm not a boot person. Are you saying that another woman may have been out camping with him?
No, we are simply checking all possibilities.
Do you own a truck?
No, I'm not the truck type. If it helps, I do know that Derek's mother owns one. An old Chevy, I think.
Alright. Alright. Did your husband normally camp on his own?
Actually, yes. He liked to go backpacking once or twice a month. He'd take a bus, hike as far as he could go, and get out under God's great sky, as he said. Not that he was religious, but the desert held a certain spirituality for him.
Alright.
I never went with him. I may live in a desert town, but I'm a city girl, and I don't like getting my hands dirty.
Okay. When was the last time you saw your husband?
Last time
Alive,
I saw him?
of course.
Oh, God, that's such an awful sound. Must have been... Yes, it was over breakfast, right before he left. I was going to
Which
work.
was
He
when?
told me he'd be gone, out camping for a while, starting that very afternoon. That was typical of Derek. Mr. Spontaneity.
Yeah. Now let's get to the precise answer to my fucking question. When exactly did he leave? You know, when I asked you when was the last time you saw him, I want an exact fucking time, date, something. Come on.
6 days ago?
All right.
Yes, 6 days. He needed to stop at his mom's house on the way out to the desert to pick up his gear. We didn't have room to store it here. His mom was willing, which is a little surprising since Derek and his mother aren't exactly close.
Alright. Where were you 5 days ago?
I guess you know I'm an attorney. I think maybe you've testified in 1 or 2 cases of mine against my client. But that's the way the game is played, right?
Of course.
Anyway, I've been consumed with my next big trial looming. Now, I know in a case
Was
like
someone I
this, you'll
arrested
always
recently?
look at the spouse first.
Oh, well,
But
I got
let me
arrested
save you a
recently.
step. No way could I have driven out to the desert. Even if I had known where in God's name he'd set up camp. I just haven't had the time.
And there's a message on my aim. Mind if we have a look around?
I hate to stand on legal formalities, but as much as I want you to find out what happened to Derek, I need to limit the chaos in my life. I'll have to insist on a warrant to show cause before I let you toss my house. I'm sorry.
We understand.
Ah, fine. Did Derek have any enemies?
Derek was pretty easygoing, and I can't think of... No, wait, there is one person, though enemy is a little strong. You see, our contractor quit recently after he and Derek got into it. Name's Lou Astor, and he is one sleazy character. Frankly, much as I'd like to get our kitchen remodeling done, I'm glad that creep is out from underfoot.
Where can we find this contractor?
Yes, where indeed?
At Ravenson Construction. I even remember the address from paying his padded bills. 5311 Seffield Road.
Alright. Do you wear red lipstick?
I'm wearing it right now. But my lips have natural color, so sometimes I wear a clear shade. And never red.
Right. Did Derek roll his own cigarettes?
Yes, an old habit from, frankly, his head days. He always preferred hand-rolled cigarettes. He was a tobacco connoisseur.
Alright. Did your husband ever use Jimson weed?
Yeah, it's one of those habits I can't break him of. Usually takes a little for use in the wilderness.
Okay. So, we're not allowed to look around, which is bullshit, so let's go to his mother's house. Doop 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 doop. Please put this bottle. There you go. That's good enough. Talk to the mother. Let's go. Talkie. Come on. Are you Emily Hansen? Even though we know you are.
You know I am. And
Told
you
you.
obviously
That's
know what a bad time this is for me. I've lost my son. And I've already spent several hours with you LVPD people this morning. If you'll excuse me.
We're with the crime lab.
We're with the crime lab, Mrs. Hansen, investigating your son's death. As much as we hate intruding into your time of grief, we need to ask a few questions.
There's always questions to be asked, and I have to do it. When was the last time you saw Derek?
A week ago. No, 6 days. Right before this last ill-advised desert excursion. I saw him when he picked up his camping gear.
Alright. Where were you after Derek left?
Here at home working. I have an office here.
Alright. Was anyone else around that day?
Lou Astor was. He's a contractor who's done a lot of work for me over the years. Recently I recommended him to Derek and his wife. But when Mr. Astor stopped by that day, he mentioned that he'd been fired by them. The contractor was
we've been
gone by
told
the
of
time
that.
Derek stopped here. You don't think Astor could be responsible?
We don't know.
I know he's a bit of a roughneck and has a certain reputation, but he's always done reliable work for me. I'd hate to think.
No, we got no evidence on that. Notice anything unusual about your son when he left?
My son was willfully unusual. You'll need to be specific.
Great.
Unusual as in a bruise on his forehead?
I noticed nothing of that nature. No injuries, no contusions. Although if Derek ended up that way, I can't say I'm surprised. Considering the poor judgment he showed, backpacking into that wasteland of lowlifes and druggies. Perhaps Derek felt at home among that trash. Drugs and parties were how he spent his college days. Never grew up, I'm afraid. You think I'm cruel? Cold? Assume what you like, but I'm a mother who lost her child long, long ago.
Okay. So how was Derek's marriage?
A disaster area. My darling daughter-in-law, Carla, is a 14-carat tramp. Derek only married her because I disapproved. Sheer rebellion. Simply sheer rebellion. It's the safest bet in Las Vegas that little slut is sleeping around on my son.
Oh, strong words. Can I get your fingerprints?
Just to eliminate you.
I'm sure you expect me to cooperate fully in your efforts to find out what happened to my son. And I do commend your public service. But as you may know, I'm a candidate for public office myself, and I intend not to be embarrassed. You will follow the rules. It will take a warrant to get my fingerprints or to search my house. And now, if there's nothing else, please leave me to my thoughts and my sorrow.
Oh, no, there's plenty else. Mind if we have one of your cigarette butts? Even though we have no evidence that you smoke at all?
That I will gladly bestow you. Take it and go.
Okay, then. Yeah, I'm not going. Just